Hi, welcome back. As you could tell from the title, I'm just going to get ready and I'm going to talk with you guys because I want to. Let me move some stuff around. Computer. So this is my natural kind of hair, but I put it in braids last night while it dried, so it kind of looks a little bit like more uniform, which I like. And then, yeah, just curly. But I'm going to put it up. After all that, I cannot do my makeup with it down. I don't know. There's some people out there that can, and God bless them. But now I look like this, which is awesome. Okay, so I am going to be trying out, I have tested this a few times. This is a new sunscreen. This is actually a chemical sunscreen, so I'm sure like some mineral sunscreen police will come for me. I actually use mostly mineral sunscreen, but I do really like some chemical sunscreens, mainly because I am super active, and if I put on a mineral sunscreen, I sometimes will just have like white streaks coming down my face when I'm out running, and it's just not my favorite. So I've been looking for sunscreens that are chemical based, but without some of the active ingredients that are bad for the reefs. So this one actually is. It has octocrylene, octosalate, and avobenzone. So some of the ones that they left out are apparently the ones that are worse for the reefs. So this one is SPF 30, and it comes in this gel formula, which I have been loving. And the only thing about it is it's kind of hard to know if you've gotten everywhere, which I know is kind of like the beauty of this being clear, is that it can go on darker skin tones and no white cast at all. Obviously, like, it's chemical, so usually chemical sunscreens don't have a white cast, but this one really is just, it's clear. Like, I just put it on. But then I'm like, did I get everywhere? Because usually when it's a white or a tint, you can kind of see the areas that you might have missed. And this, I'm kind of like a little scared. But I haven't gotten burnt, and I've used it a few times, and I've really been liking it, especially for the climate that I live in. I say it every time. I live in North Carolina. It gets super hot, super humid in the summer, and I just cannot wear certain sunscreens because I sweat them off, and then it does me no good. So I know there are a lot of issues that people find with chemical sunscreens, be it that they're hormone disruptors or supposed hormone disruptors. I obviously, like, a lot of the things that I use are natural. So this is kind of going against the grain a little bit for me, but I like to try things. And I know that some people out there just have to use a chemical sunscreen, so I try to find at least some that are better for the environment and better for us. And so far, I really like this one. So let me know what you think if you've tried it. This hair, I'm sorry, I feel like, let's try something different. Let's try. How do we like this? Like 12-year-old Dana would be so happy right now. I'm gonna let this sink in a little. It definitely, you know, it's gel based, so it kind of, I don't think it sinks in as quickly as some of the cream ones, or like, you know, like the normal chemical ones. So I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes, and I'll come back and we'll get going. Okay, so we're back, and I am gonna go in with this MAC Face and Body. I feel like I have a frog in my throat that I cannot get rid of. You gotta shake this one quite a bit, and it does have a different application than a lot. I have a video that I did on it. I have actually, I think 2 or 3 maybe, so you can go check those out. If you go to my main YouTube page, you can just search MAC Face and Body and they'll come up. But I'm gonna be putting this on and just kind of talking through some of what's in my head. Okay. I was actually contemplating if I should do the MAC Face and Body, or if I should do my concealer, like no foundation concealer routine. And I decided to just use the MAC Face and Body because I haven't used it in a while. But if you guys want to see a no foundation, just concealer routine, like very simple everyday makeup, which is basically what I wear every day, truly, let me know in the comments and I will definitely do that. What I wanted to talk about today is I'm going to be looking down, sorry, you can see, but you know. I've just been having kind of, I don't know, a hard time with my channel in a lot of respects, and if you've been with me for a while, you've seen maybe some changes. I did makeup for a long time, and then I thought I was going to change it and do formulating because I have a skincare business, and I found that to be a lot of extra work that I just did not have the time for. It's just not as easy as like sitting down and playing with makeup or reviewing something, which is not to say that I take these reviews lightly. I spend a lot of time, especially when I do something like the sunscreen hauls, the best of sunscreen for the summer 2020. I'll link that above. That's a really good video. I spent a lot of time, like months and months. It's not to say that these makeup videos aren't well thought out and I don't spend a lot of time. It's just a different nature of the video, and when I formulate, I do that because I love it, but also it's my company, and then for me to do it for YouTube as well. I just found it to be kind of like when you get to the point where you're like, this is something I love, but now it's feeling like work, and I didn't want it to be that. So I kind of took a step back from that, and I've just been dipping my toes back into my normal videos, but I'm having a hard time. And this is where you guys come in. My subscribers are, I think it's like 700, very small. I don't care. That's not like why I do this. I don't want to be James Charles or someone. But I guess I want a little direction, and I hope that you guys can give it to me. I love skincare, and I am more than happy to talk about it, but I don't buy a ton of different skincare brands, mainly because I make my own. But I do. I do test it out and kind of see what's out there. But if that's something that you're interested in, I can do more of. I also obviously love sunscreens, and I can't help but buy them. There have been some that have been recommended lately that are like just exorbitantly priced that I have not found kind of the desire to want to go and purchase. So I haven't, but maybe I will. It's just, I don't make any money off of these videos, so I can't just go spending my money anywhere. But if you are interested in seeing more sunscreen videos, let me know as well. And I guess it's just interesting to see what you guys would like. And I'm happy to listen and give it a shot. Okay, so I just put the Glossier Stretch Concealer under my eyes. And it's a very hydrating formula, which is what I love. I'm going to go onto my eyes. And I might not set that. We'll see. We shall see. But I'm going to be using the NARS, what is this? Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. And this is in the shade Medium. This stuff is really great. I use it pretty much on like my no makeup days as my eyeshadow. It just covers up the discoloration in my eyes. I have a lot of veins. They're kind of like reddish blue, my eyeshadow, or my eyelids. Yeah, I have a lot of veins in my eyes. It's just what it is. And I find like it just covers them up and is close enough to my skin tone that I can wear it alone and not have to do any eyeshadow, and it just gives you a more awake look. Anytime you have darkness around your eyes, be it on your eyelids or under your eyes, you just kind of look a little bit more tired. So this is one of the things that I've really been loving lately, and it's been a huge game changer. The other thing that I have been using is this Well People Bio Baked Brightener, just one universal glow. And I've probably been doing it a lot differently than a lot of people, if I can open it. This is a beauty sponge, I don't know the brand, Eco Tools. And I've actually been using it right into the baked brightener, getting it on my sponge, and then kind of like patting it on, because this is a pretty hard formula. Like, it's not powdery, it's obviously not a loose formula. So I just find that I get the right amount when I do it this way. You don't have to do it. You could do it with a brush like a normal person. And then I actually do under my eyes with this as well. So I'll show you. I use like the tippy end. The tippy end. It does make this a little dirty, but you can actually get that dirt and grime off of these if you just use a piece of tape. And I have a video on it. I'll link it above. So I'll just take the tip and kind of praise it right into my eye. I can't talk today. I stayed up so late last night, And by so late, I mean 12:30. But that's late in my world. My fiance and I went to a drive-in movie, which it's like, we talked to his grandfather yesterday, and we told him that we were going, and he was like, oh wow, like that's one of those things you never thought would come back. And it's like, yeah, it is. And it did. But it's awesome. I had never been. You guys, drive-in movies are awesome. Next up, milk makeup. And I'm just going to use the same sponge. I like to just dab it onto the sponge and then go onto my face. If I put this directly onto my face, I feel like it moves the makeup around a little, regardless of if it's powder or cream. But yes, okay, drive-in theaters, drive-in movies. Also, it looks more crazy on camera than in real life, but I will blend it out, don't worry. Drive-in movies. We went and saw, last night it was the 4th of July, and we saw Independence Day, which was very fitting. Also, my fiance, Cliff, he had never seen it, and I was like, wait, what? Like, what were you doing in the 90s? This was the biggest, it was such a big movie. Do you remember? Like Will Smith and Bill Paxton. I really couldn't remember most of it, but there were a few lines where it was like, welcome to America, when he kills the alien. And I was like, oh man, this is bringing me back. I'm just going to go over my eyes as well. And so yeah, so we went to the movie, and it was, you were supposed to get there between 7 and 9. And we got there a little later, like 8, maybe 8:15. And which wasn't a problem. We could find, you know, like they sold out, so it wasn't, so you were guaranteed a space if you had one. It wasn't kind of like free for all. But we got there, got set up. We have a Fiat, so we had the hatchback open. I brought blankets and pillows, so we kind of like got all cozy in the back, which was awesome. And then it was actually a food truck. It was called Food Truck Flicks. So they had 2 or 3 food trucks there. And it's so awesome. I'm so excited, and I want to go back, and I cannot wait until the next one. But you basically use that. We have this app for food trucks here, and you use the app and order your food, put in the number of your spot, and they deliver it to you. It was so cool. And, you know, it took a while. Like, I would say, at first it said your order was going to get there in an hour. But I think the food came in about 30 or 40 minutes, so it wasn't that bad, but they were slammed, but that's great. You know, all these food trucks have been working their butts off during Corona and trying to make money, and I was so happy to see that this was another way that they could make some money, and just a really, really, really well put together, really fun thing, and I cannot wait to the next one. So, I'm just putting on blush. And we're going to blend it out, don't you worry. So now I'm taking a clean end of the sponge and just kind of going over everything. But again, video, it doesn't translate the same as in real life. It looks kind of more intense in real life, or hopefully not. It looks more intense on camera, but it doesn't actually in real life. And I've been into a blush kind of mood. The other thing that I have been into, which I am going to put on right after, is something I don't really need right now, just because I am pretty tan. I am part Greek, so I tan quite easily. But this Kosas, this is the Tropic Equinox. It's the Color and Light Cream. I don't know what you want to call it. It's like a bronzer blush. It depends on your skin tone, and then the highlighter. They're both freaking amazing, and I love them so, 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 so much. So I'm going to use the bronzer side, and honestly, I use this as like a bronzer blush a lot of times, and it just gives me the prettiest color. I don't need a lot today because I am quite tan, but I can't resist it. And I just kind of go on the borders of my face, and I make sure to get my chin. I hate when beauty influencers do like this and here, and then their bottom half of their face has nothing. That's not really normal, because the sun is gonna hit your whole face, and especially down here if you want to really contour. This is a shadow. Do you see that shadow? That's where you want to contour. So I always kind of try to remember to get my chin. And again, I'm not going to use a ton of this today, but you can tell just like from that little bit how pretty it is. And going over your nose and like a little bit where I put the blush, it just gives you like you have been blessed by the sun. Okay, and then for the highlighter, I actually use my finger for that just because I like a little bit more of an exact placement. This one is beautiful too. I can't wait to use these. I got these in the spring or like late winter, and then I stopped using makeup because Corona. But I can't wait to use them when it's a little bit cooler and I'm not so tan, because it's just gonna be beautiful, like stunning. I don't really need extra glow right now, but we're doing it. Okay, I think I want to do a little bit more eyeshadow, not a ton, and I'm going to be using this e.l.f. quad. This one is Berry Bad, obviously. And I'm just going to use this very lightest shade of kind of like mauvey brown, and I'm really not going to use a ton, and just kind of go over where I did the blush, just to give it a bit more pop of color. I'm like, can't do anything on my eyes and not make that face. How about you guys? So I made a video before this, a whole get ready with me, and then I trashed it, mainly because I was in such a bad mood, couldn't really properly say what I wanted to say, and it wasn't great. So I think a lot of what I've been feeling, probably a lot of people have felt during quarantine, and I honestly hadn't up until now, but I have so many things I want to do, which is kind of opposite than some people, and sometimes I don't know how to start or get going, and it's been hard because it's like, while I do have a routine now, I still work from home. It's like endless, like there's no beginning and end, and I do have weekends and I do like take them, but I work. I have so many different things that I have going on. I have my skincare line. I have something else big in the works. I do my YouTube videos. I try to keep my garden going. I have a really, really beautiful garden. I will insert a clip here. It's stunning. I love it so much. And like cooking and keeping the house clean. We're also renovating it. So like, I guess I just get overwhelmed, and I probably have my hand in too many different things, but that's kind of how I like it. So I don't know. Do you guys feel that way? Like where you just feel like you can't really like put the energy and effort into what you want to do? Or is it just me? Okay, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do eyeliner today. I think I am. So I'm going to be using the Alima Pure, and I've been really liking kind of the waterline, tightline look, which is a bit more, this isn't a natural look. We're not going for natural today, but it's still going to look pretty. It's not going to look like totally Instagram model, but I'm going to just be putting it on the top waterline and then a little bit on the bottom inside, or outside, I guess. So I'm going to do that off camera because that is ugly to watch. Nobody needs to see that, and then we'll come back. Okay, I zoomed in a little so you could see it. So what I do is I put it on the top waterline, and I don't go all the way in. I kind of stop 3/4 of the way and then go to the outside. And I haven't actually done the bottom part yet, but what you can see is that it kind of comes down naturally, which I think is a really kind of natural, good look. And it's still going to look very kind of like more nighttime look, but I love it. And yeah, this one didn't do it as much, so I will go over it a little. And I will make faces while I do it. Sometimes it can get a little messy, so either take your finger or a Q-tip, just clean it up. Or you can smudge it out and make it like more smudgy and grungy. It always looks so crazy when you see someone tightline. That's why I don't really do it on camera, because most people know how to do it. I don't need to show you. So we just do 3/4 and then maybe like a quarter there, and it'll get worn in during the day, which is fine. I think it's kind of like a look that I like. But yeah, next up, I'm kind of torn about this, and this is where I definitely need you guys, your opinions. I have been using this, what is it, LA Girl Volumatic full-on volumizing lash lifting mascara, because somebody told me in one of my other tubing mascara videos, which I will link above, that this is another really cheap alternative tubing mascara. And I've been using it probably for a month now. I got it on Amazon, super cheap, like $6, comes in 4 colors. And I was in love with it, and I still am. And it was working as a tubing mascara. And then last night I wore it, and when I went to take my makeup off, it did not come off like a tubing mascara. So I haven't done a video about it because I feel like I'm kind of torn. Like, is it a tubing mascara? Is it not? And I have some others that have been like that, so it's hard for me to put it out there because sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's just the weirdest thing. But it is a really, really pretty mascara. This wand, I think it's partially this wand. Do you see that? It's just really, you can tell it's going to be a volumizing one. And I think it does a really pretty job. And I just wish it worked as a tubing mascara all the time. Okay, so here it's on. I think they're really lengthening and volumizing, which is not always the case. So they are beautiful. I just don't know if they're tubing. I'll let you know in the comments below if it actually came off today as tubing or not. Okay, next is brows. And I'm not going to do this on camera also because I don't do really anything that crazy. I just go over the top of my brows since I have pretty fluffy brows and I don't need to fill them in a lot, but brows are on. I love this e.l.f. Beautifully Bare eyebrow gel, and this is the only thing I've been using for a long time. It just gives me like really no color. I think this is the blonde color, but it holds them really well, and I don't mind that like you can feel the hold. I actually prefer that because I don't know, that's just kind of what I go for, and it's $5, so I love it. I've gotten out of boy brow though. I find like that formula is too clumpy, and I don't know, I think it was a lot of hype and I just am over it. So anybody else feel that same way? Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to take the eyebrow pencil I use. This is the BrowGal. I don't know where I got it, but I'm going to be using it today for Faux Freckles. I've been into this the last, not very long, like few days. And it's just a fun look, especially in the summer when you do have kind of more color on your face. And I know I could get the faux, or what's it called? Freck, which I might do just because I think it'll last. The little freckles will last longer and they'll be probably more appropriate just because that's what it's meant for. But this eyebrow pencil has been working pretty well. And if you make one that's a little too big, just kind of dot it out and it'll be fine. And like I said, this is not going to stay on my face all day, especially if I touch my face or anything. That's so much fun, huh? Okay, so this I have been in love with. This is the Revlon Kiss Cushion Lip Tint, and it's in the shade 250 High-End Coral, obviously. I've actually been using this as everything. So I do my lips, like so. And then you can use it as blush. I use it as a little eyeshadow. I just kind of like go up like what I did today. And it gives you that really monochromatic, kind of natural, just beautiful, beautiful look. So I think it was $8 or $9 at the drugstore because drugstore is no longer cheap. I really only do the middle of my lips. I find that when I go out to the edges, maybe it's just the shape of my lips, but it looks weird. So I just kind of stay in the middle. And that's it. All right, so I think that's my look. And honestly, I'm okay with this hairstyle. I feel like Ariana Grande. I should get it like tighter up here. But yeah, so that's it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know. I had a few questions for you, and I really do want feedback because I didn't make this video for me. Like, I wanted to play with makeup, but I honestly just wanted what you guys thought. So let me know. What direction should I go in? It's a big question, but yeah, help me out. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.